Alright everybody, my name is VTech. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Chris, the man with the plan, Mullins. How you doing, sir?
I'm the man with the plan.
Man with the plan, different company,
I'm
but
doing wonderful.
it's all good. We're talking today about, sadly, Billy Corgan has lost the lawsuit for his bid to basically take control of TNA and controlling the stakes. Now we're really going to be referencing the New York Post article for
this
a lot
is gonna
of this.
eventually bite. This is gonna bite Dixie bad.
Now,
I'm gonna tell you, like, she's gonna wish that she didn't try to do this.
Now Dixie's already felt the blunt of a lot of things in the past, but TNA was going on such a good, very, very good hype train. Like, it's been very great.
And the thing is like, here's like my thing about this is, yeah, they're going on this hype train, and I think a lot of it has to do with the creative direction as Billy Corgan taking part in that. And I feel like Dixie's trying to take credit for that, and it's gonna blow up in her face.
Yeah, and I think a big problem for this, that we have to look at this in a bunch of ways. Sure, Billy Corgan he's doing his job as creative, but at the same time, he feels like he's the reason why TNA is where it is. It's doing good. It's going to try and actually get a very positive cash flow. And, you know, he was the, given money and saying, hey, here's the money for TNA, and you have to pay me back unless you let me get control of it. And this is where we're really going to get into that theory of, is he the white knight of TNA, or is he just looking to get the company away from Dixie Carter? And of course, it's very hard because Dixie Carter has a almost 93% equity of the company. That 92.5 ownage and stock of the company is just so high. No one has any other say but Dixie Carter in the end. But of course, there's always the courts, which can overrule that and can, say, hey, it might be like this, but it's, things are very tricky when it comes to this whole court situation, because when you have 93% stock of a company, that's hard to take away from someone. But at the same time, if the company's around because of someone else, and that person gave money to the company and why it's still around, you might have to split the share, and sooner or later it might come into a sticky situation where there might be 3 people.
Because at this point, I'm guessing Corgan is done with TNA,
and that's a very sad thing. And I really hope and pray for the long-term success of TNA. Do not let Corgan go. The man has been a freaking genius with what's been going on, and I think, honestly, people have had more creative control over their own characters. I feel like, he's also said, well, here's what we can do here in this situation, but at the same time, I'm gonna let you do your thing, and if it works, we're gonna keep on rolling with you. We're just gonna snap our fingers and hope everything goes right. I really see the side of Billy Corgan where he's having a lot of fun with it. Like, in the beginning, there was that awkward stage where he's like, alright, I'm coming in, I don't know what I'm getting a hold of. But at the same time, by the end of it, if you look at where he's at right now, in the beginning of November of 2016, as we say this, he's having so much fun. I mean, he's chilling out with Ain't No Shay smoking a cigar, like, looking like the hipster's grandpa of all time that was in a, 90s rock band.
Dude, yeah, that's like how I hope I am at age 50.
And there's that white knight theory, I think, is more true than him trying to take control of everything and just screw over everything that Jeff Jarrett and Dixie Carter and Panda Energy has invested so much into. Because as much as you've invested and we've gotten from the past, and we have that long story of TNA, we have to look at right now also. Because the past can help us, but we have to be looking towards the future. And I think that's a very key thing with TNA, is that they're building people for the future at a lower cost. And when I look at the bigger view of this, because there's a lot of sticky situations in this court case. I mean, of course, we were talking about how Billy Corgan put that restraining order on Dixie Carter, a person that he has to work with in the company, and that's crazy. I don't think it was right. I'm gonna say that. I'm sorry about that. I really, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, don't think it's right for Billy Corgan to put a restraining order on Dixie Carter unless, she was out of line and she's gone crazy and she's like harassing him. I don't think that's the case, because I think we would have heard about it more, but it could be. I think
that was more to keep her away from the company,
which I think it was too. But it's so, you have to look at everything, and it's sad because I think Dixie Carter's been very quiet about everything. Billy Corgan's been more about, hey, come smash some pumpkins on Impact with me because we're having fun, and he's been more out there saying, look at this brand that has come back to life, and everything that we've worked for is not gonna go down in a ball of fire and be forgotten. Like, we're actually, if we go down, people will want us to come back later, but they don't want to go down. They want to keep on continuing. And of course, we'll get into more news about their Challenge TV has fallen through, which is a big news, because the Challenge TV falling through means that people in the UK can't see it unless there's this now, I believe, athlon of the Fight Network. Great thing. Love the Fight Network. I'm gonna say that right now. Get it. Because
Fight Network is one of the greatest things for wrestling.
If you take away, a lot of wrestling companies are on there, if you take away their ability to view this brand, that's going to hurt TNA a lot, especially because TNA is on fire. And if you take away something that's on fire, that's bad. That's really bad.
It fizzles it out.
Exactly, and it makes it like it seemed it never was there.
You're basically taking oxygen away from fire.
Now, my main concern about this, and it's even said in the article, which I agree with, is that there's big speculation that they're gonna try to remove Billy Corgan from management, and I think it's of that sticky situation where, it's like when Bischoff came in and helped out Vince. It didn't need to happen, but it did, and I think people have to look at the long term of, like, if you two can coexist, we can get this company working. We can get, Dixie Carter's control working, but we can also get Billy Corgan's mind behind everything, still running things. Because, as it's been rumored, people love Billy Corgan. People think he's the guy that needs to be running everything. I personally do too. I do too. I think Billy Corgan, great guy, great mindset, great creative, because and even for money, I think that's the big thing with TNA was the whole money thing. But I think they didn't. I don't know if TNA knew about Billy Corgan creatively when they got him aboard. I thought it was more of like an investment money thing. But long term, Billy Corgan proved to the rest of the industry that he wasn't here just to make money off of it. He was here actually to contribute. What are your thoughts on that? I know I've talked for a little bit, and just really shot from the hip everywhere. But what are your thoughts on this, Mullins?
Well, like I said, you're basically taking the oxygen away from a fire. And if anyone knows anything about any kind of chemistry, you take the oxygen away from fire, that fire dies. And I hope that is not the case with TNA, because I feel like Billy Corgan was breathing that oxygen into TNA. He was going out of his way to be, because Billy Corgan's a really quirky guy, as you see from his attire he wears. He's not a normal individual.
Well, he was that '90s rock star too. You know?
Yeah, he was a '90s rock star. Yeah, we're in a time where it's not as frowned upon or whatever. He probably did a lot of drugs.
I don't know about
He probably
that
smashed a lot of personal pumpkins.
Man, Mullins, you're shooting from the hip.
So he is a very unique-minded individual. Like, he's not that bland. Hey, this is how wrestling's always been. He's like, well, hey, this is what wrestling can be. He helps evolve the product.
I want to dive deeper real quick into the Fight Network. Of course, you said it's great, you know. The people behind...
I thought you were about to tell me you wanted to dive deeper into Billy Corgan's drug use. Well, I mean, we can't.
Not for this episode. Because I don't even know about it. I mean, I wasn't alive during the pinnacle of Smashing Pumpkins. But back to TNA. And just the company or everything. I mean, we'll get back to Billy Corgan right now. But the Fight Network, of course, we praised it already. But let's praise it some more, because apparently they're the ones who are going to be paying the loan off for Billy Corgan. Now, this starts another chain of events. You ready? They're going to try to pay off the loan for Billy Corgan, because you still gotta give the man his money back. I mean, even if you screw the guy in the end, he's still gonna get his money. I mean, the only person you're really screwing is in the long term, maybe the creativeness of everything and the morale. I mean, the key thing in professional wrestling is the morale. Look at how WCW ended because of the morale. I mean, sure, you can just do a complete overhaul and just get new faces in there, but at the same time, that creative build for them, it's going to be so fast to rebuild the whole company from the ground up, and that might be the Billy Corgan route of making a company. But with the Fight Network trying to pay off, you know, Billy Corgan's loan, it starts the other problem of, hey, TNA, now, you know, Dixie Carter, you guys gotta, you know, pay the Fight Network. And then it might start the thing of, well, you know, if you can't pay the Fight Network, you're still gonna have to get the whole, you know, revenue thing there. You know, I think it starts this long chain of events. Now maybe the Fight Network with the Anthem Sports Entertainment Corporations, they might get involved with owning a share of TNA, and it's a very bad thing for wrestling, because if TNA dies, it's really bad, and if TNA is going through this time, it's bad for morale, because there's a lot of people who are like, where's my next check going? Like, who's paying it? Is it going to be Dixie? Is it going to be Uncle Billy? Is it going to be the higher-ups at the Fight Network? Like, who's paying my bills at the end of the day? But I'm going to say, from the bottom of my heart, what my heart is telling me is that Billy Corgan needs to be the guy for TNA to last much longer, you know? But at the same time, there's also, what my mind's telling me is, like, the more suitable thing for Dixie Carter to do is exterminate or delete, in the words of Matt Hardy, to delete Billy Corgan out of the company. You know, that might be her best thing, but it might be really bad too. And it's sad, because it's like what a vast majority of people want, and then you have this small interest of some people to keep what they've built without him. I mean, say what you want, but Dixie Carter has survived those very rough years. I mean, given him, she might have caused it, but you gotta look at the big picture of things. Of they were going through that very rough period of time, then they finally overcame it, and they're doing so good right now that now they got the problems from the past, because money is the ultimate problem in this situation. So, Mullins, I'm gonna let you close it out real quick. I've said what I needed to say on this case.
So basically, this is gonna change TNA's booking going forward. They've luckily filmed up to January, so
Yes.
they have time to decide where they're gonna go with it. So because basically, from my inferring, Billy Corgan's done with TNA. He'll never be on TNA television again.
Sadly.
And
Maybe.
it was fun while it lasted.
It was.
I would love to see him, but unfortunately we have Tennessee hillbilly, for lack of better terms, that needs to get over herself. And yeah, shooting from the hip big time right here.
Ooh.
Needs to get over herself, or she's gonna kill the only thing that makes her relevant.
Alright, everybody. Comment down below. Has Billy Corgan smashed his last pumpkin?